Welcome, everybody, to this week's Mystreme update. Today's an exciting one because we have with us the Chief Technical Officer of Mystreme, Kevin DeGraff, and we have the Art Director, Nate Guerin. Is you present Guerin?
Yes, Garen. Thank you.
Guerin. Very, very nice to meet you. Nate, it's the first time meeting you. It's very nice to meet you. Nate does some absolutely brilliant artwork and designing, and I've seen some of his work before. Actually, at I think this event right here. Is that
Yeah,
right, Dan?
yeah. Monday,
Yeah.
Yes,
Houston.
Yeah, one day
yes.
Houston. So today we're talking about some of the latest technological advances on the Mystreme platform, and we're gonna get a little bit geeky today and look at some of the coding even maybe on the back end. And so this video is actually in two parts. This is part one where we're talking about the improvements of fan channels, the adding of sports to the search options, as well as browser automation, that's what handles all the logins automatically to various services to make your experience on Mystreme seamless. And the second video in this update, we're going to be talking about the improvement in the search functions using AI. I can tell you that this is a really mind-blowing update, what we're achieving. So be sure to be notified when that second video comes out. Subscribe to this YouTube channel and click on the bell icon to be notified when that video comes out. And so I'm actually going to turn it over to Dan, who is our CEO of Mystreme. Let it rip, Dan.
Well, let's start out by just thanking our advisors and our alpha testers. We've had many of you in the system adding your hype lists, and we have some pretty cool lists coming together. Our curation starts with human curation, and that's how the AI gets trained. So your time, your efforts, your thought that's gone into it is amazing. And I want to show a little bit of it. So these are the lists that are starting to get formed by the members of the team. You have FamFlix, which is a family-friendly set of films. You've got 315 movies that you could sit and watch with everyone in the family. So this is a super fun version of a hype list. Date night is another great way to get together with your loved ones and watch a date night movie. We've got Just Kids, we've got Christmas, and Full Send for you who like to do skating or motocross. You've got Faith and Family here. You've got the Zoom Zone. First Responders, I like this one. So this is just all kinds of movies with whether it's Police Academy or Beverly Hills Cop 2.
So I got a quick question, Dan, if I can
Yes.
interrupt real quick. So the question that pops up into my mind immediately is, are these hype lists searchable? In other words, I wonder if anybody's created a list on hospital shows or something like that. Is that phrase, like hospital shows, or is Weathering it searchable?
Great point. So as you're forming your hype list, think about keywords. Think about the things people are going to be typing up here. And when they find you, they're finding you by a keyword. Now, at this stage of the game, that's not developed. We are going to be adding a keyword search of hype lists. And that's one of the things Kevin's going to talk about today is how we're going to use artificial intelligence, not only to search individual titles, but hype lists, moods. Maybe you just want to watch a movie with your loved one, a date night movie, or something along that line. It's going to start aggregating based on those types of keywords that are really unique to our service. And a lot of that is going to be informed by you, by the people out there who actually are creating these lists. And it's just part of the story that we're telling to our customer when they get to know us. So I'm going to jump out. If you don't mind, I'll jump out and show you a little bit about what this means and where it's going next. We currently have all of the movies that you would definitely want to search. If this morning, I think Kevin Mercer reached out and said, I couldn't find Twister. And then we tested it and we found it. So there's a few things going on with search sometimes where maybe it's in the system, but search is not quite working right yet, or you can't find it yet. So that's why we're here on this call. We're going to talk with Kevin about how search is going to improve. A lot of content's there. And then there's movies that just aren't there. We were looking for Shogun the other day. We couldn't find that. So it's important as you run into things that are not there, let us know so we know to look for it, add it. But what we've got right now is all the major studios. We've got 100,000 titles-ish. And when you look at the screen here, these are the types of brands that are delivering on those movies, whether it's Disney or Warner or Amazon. It's all in one library. And when you bring that together, you have now the ability to create that hype list, not just from Netflix movies, but from all different sources, which is really what makes us unique. It's the ability to see all of it. So I'll show you now. Let's say you start with a FanFlix is your hype list in that scenario. We've got a FanFlix hype list out there. For users who want to upgrade their experience and offer an entire page of content, their entire homepage, and they want to share it, they can rebrand. And for this example, you see up in the left-hand corner, that's FanFlix, the channel, not just the hype list. And so now you have this new ability. This is going to create all kinds of opportunities for various people who want to engage their customer audiences, their influencer audiences. They want to monetize their followings or create content around their social communities. And when we start launching this technology, this is down the road. This is a mock-up, but it's down the road. Our social environment, you can now have communication with your community. You can build storylines and have conversations around content.
Is that kind of similar, Dan, to like a YouTube channel?
It would be very similar to a YouTube channel, with the exception that it won't be the YouTube logo in the corner. It's your logo, and it's your content that you've aggregated. A lot of what will be exciting will be your ability to take your YouTube channel content and package it into a Mystreme environment. So you'll be able to say, this is my content, this is my community, and it'll feel branded like it's you. So when we talk about fan channels, what that means is that we have influencers out there who want to create their own experiences for their families, friends. They're the local nerd that says, here's the movie you should watch. And we all have one. We all call on somebody for that. I'd like for Nate to show how you will benefit from a fan channel. If you're not a fan channel creator, maybe that making a fan channel is not exciting to you, but if Nate could show his screen, Nate's he's our prodigy designer. He's been thinking about how does the user experience channels and hype lists from the user-generated curation going on out there. You got something for us, Nate? There it is.
Here it
Why don't you
comes.
show us how a fan channel is created and then how a user would engage with that?
Yeah, so right now you're looking at basically the profile selection page where you would find your profile with all the other sub profiles connected to it, and then 2 or 3 options of creating a fan channel, brand channel, or a profile. So once you click into those, you would get this kind of sort of interface where you can actually upload your logo, your profile picture, and also your background to put right behind all of your curated titles, and then also your brand channel name, your tagline. But this will be your customization of your brand channel. So everything that you want to see when it pops up, this is what you would end up putting in there.
Let me jump in. One of the things that really excites me about these fan channels, these brand channels on Mystreme is that, so I have a few YouTube channels and social media channels, like a 250,000 followers on TikTok, and a YouTube channel, a couple of YouTube channels with several thousand followers. And when a channel is new, when a platform is new, like when TikTok was brand new, it was very easy to get organic views on your content because it wasn't inundated with content. Now, right now, YouTube is flooded with content, just thousands and thousands of days of content being uploaded every single day. And so the ability to have a channel on Mystreme is particularly exciting to me, to be able to reach those particular communities that would enjoy the channels that I have.
I'll give you one of the most exciting communities is sports. Sports is where we see a big frustration. A lot of people want to switch, and a lot of people we know are going to switch. The reason we know that is 64% of Americans are not yet streaming live sports. 56% of the consumption time of sports is still on broadcast or cable TV. So it's not on streaming yet. That's 186 million individuals who are likely to shift over the next few months. So that's a change that's coming. We can't control or manage that change, but we can be a part of it. I'm going to let you guys react to that. And just how many of you are what kind of sports do you guys watch?
Big Detroit Lions fan. Go Honolulu Blue. Yeah, just big Detroit Lions fan. Love the draft.
So where do you currently watch sports?
Currently, I'm on YouTube TV, and I bounce around Sunday the Ticket because they have a nice price. But yeah, I'm really excited to see how Mystreme gets involved with that.
I was talking to someone who's using a fully loaded cable plan. It's about $250 a month. And with that package recently in Detroit, they lost the Detroit Red Wings and Tigers when Bally Sports pulled out of the Comcast package. So you're spending $250 a month and you don't have two of the three big sports in your town. That is something that's happening right now. As the streaming packages become more affordable and the cable packages become more expensive because you have fewer people there buying on it, it's a supply and demand issue. They're going to shift. They're going to find their way to the $20 package that gives them the Tigers and the Red Wings, and it is $20. So that's going to shift things. And what we're looking to do is augment that shift and provide a solution for those people looking for it, saying, I just want one place. I don't want to have to find the $20 Red Wings Tigers package. I just want to find my sports and it'll show up on my screen.
Kevin, want to hear from you. Do you watch sports? I have a guess that you don't.
I watch the Olympics every 4 years.
Very good.
More because my wife watches it than I do. But
Yeah, so where the heck do you watch the Olympics? I don't even know anymore.
YouTube TV has probably been the best recently.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, they've got a good Olympics package. They got a good NFL package as well. It's the most expensive because they do have quite a broad channel selection. But there are other ways to get to it. For example, Sling is a lot cheaper. And what we're doing is we're looking at this. We're saying, where's the most affordable way to get the content you want and provide only that for you? And so that's one of the important, I think, shifts. And one of the things that I think is exciting about sports is the brand channel. Like we've been talking about, a white labeled channel gives you the ability to create your own sports channel. Our sports channel is going to give you the ability to go locally. In this scenario, let's just call it Mystreme Sports. This Mystreme Sports package will give you the ability to aggregate the Lions in our town, the Lions, the Red Wings, the Tigers, the teams we care about most. And then you could Detroit that, for example. You could say, this is our Detroit channel, and really build a big brand around Detroit sports. And so this is the new kind of idea around sports. We currently have all movies and all TV shows, meaning series and pre-recorded content. Live content's next. And this is what we're going after.
So how do we get there, Dan? I'm sure, I mean, anybody who's watching this who's an investor is going, well, how do we get there? When can this happen?
So there are multiple paths. We have the browser automation, which is something that Kevin will show you. Our browser automation is the ability to go into YouTube, Fubo, or let's say Sling, and navigate that content by automation. So we will have the access to all the sports and all the networks. Another way, and we're having discussions with the provider, one of 6 that provides ESPN, to integrate directly with that provider so that in this scenario, when you have a direct relationship with that content, you have a stronger margin on it. You have a stronger long-term revenue plan for that. And that's a confidential conversation I can't talk about on camera, but we're super excited about it.
So do you envision in the future, because simplicity is key in all this stuff. So are you envisioning the ability to jump onto Mystreme and to hit that search bar and go, I want to watch the New York Giants, for example?
Absolutely.
And it'll pop up. And so we're not thinking anymore, where do I watch? Because I'm always thinking like, where do I watch anything? Especially in sports. So
Right. Well, for example, if you were looking on this screen alone, the NHL, MLB, if you're going to watch that in Detroit, you have to have a subscription to Bally's or Bally Sports to get those two pieces of content. But when you're trying to get the NFL, you might want to have a YouTube TV subscription for that. And so now you've got 2 subscriptions represented in one screen. The customer may not know that. They may not know where to get it. So our goal is to create this simply, what do you want to watch, not where do you want to watch it?
Right. Yeah. So for us, it's one single site, one single platform, one single interface that would handle everywhere the media would actually come from. So we're no longer having this headache of just trying to find it. Because the browser automation is finding it for you, the AI is finding it for you, and it's taking care of everything. And to you, it's a seamless interface.
Absolutely. That's the goal.
That's awesome.
So I'm going to kick it out to the team to talk a little bit about browser and automation. It's very different from what a lot of the sport teams are doing. A lot of you've got LA Lakers, you've got a series of other brands that have started to do their own direct-to-consumer app in sports. What we are offering here is a full-service solution where you're going to have everything in one place, but it's going to take a browser automation technology. So maybe what I'd like to do now is kind of turn it over to Kevin. Maybe Kevin, you could talk a little bit about browser automation and maybe even show them what it does. I think we've got the ability to log into Amazon.
Yeah, well, why don't I just discuss a little bit about what it does, and then I'll give a brief demo. And basically, what automation does for you is a browser essentially is a way of virtualizing a standard universal interface that absolutely everybody supports. So, and it really doesn't matter who you're talking about. Everybody supports the browser. And so even in the context of when we might be creating our own streamer hardware where you can plug it into your TV, our intention and goal is that we use some of these. I did a long, deep dive into how to automate things in the context of Android and Apple TV, and I found there was so many different walled garden limitations that we just fundamentally there wasn't a good user experience. And the way to get a good user experience is you don't have to think about it. You go and I want to click on this, and you want to play it, and it goes there.
Wow.
It logs in if you're not logged in. And then it actually clicks the play button for you and clicks the rent button if that's what you've configured that you want to do. And so you just don't think about it, and you could be out in a hotel room or whatever. And you don't have to be, I hate it whenever I buy a new hardware device and I have to go and set up a dozen different logins and set up all the usernames and passwords. And basically those sorts of issues would go away because we would set it up for you and you would have to do it once and then it would be persisted.
Yeah, I just had an epiphany as you were saying that. Is when you mentioned wall gardens, you know, we've said this before, but it didn't quite hit me like this. Every single company has always wanted to keep you on their site and their site only, offering you their stuff. They really don't want you. I mean, they might offer you a link to go and watch something somewhere else, but they're gonna, you know, it's not what they want you to do. So it will never be user friendly as long as it's that way. And what we're doing is saying, no. It's Mystreme. It's the customer first. It's what they want first. No more of this dividing. Everything's scattered all over the place. Oh, only stay here. Now it's one place for everything. And it's feasible. So sorry, had to interject that. Go ahead, Kevin.
True.
Anyway, this is still work in progress, so I can show a very brief snippet of this, specifically the login piece. Things like automatically playing and things like that is not quite done, and we've got it for about 6 different sites, but I'm just going to be showing how that might look or work for Amazon. So I guess I'll just share my screen here. Okay, so I'm going to show you a brief mini scenario of logging in on a test site locally. So this is, as you can see, is running against my locals. It's not the Mystreme or the AI. Some of this functionality is not quite pushed out into production because they're doing a little bit of last minute polish and usability issues. And I'm logged in as myself, the CTO, and we've had this mostly not working page out there for a while. And so basically when this is done, you will be able to log in as your username and email, specifically your Amazon Prime username and email. And if you enter this, it will use this to log in. So I can enter that. I'm not going to type it in because I have already entered this once. And then I would click sign in and it would save it. We have a Chrome extension up and running. We need a nice logo for this. You can see it's the Mystreme extension if you can see that pop up. And then what that does is now that I've registered my username and email, then if I go to Amazon, so I'm at Amazon right now, I'm actually logged in. I've been logging in and out, and Amazon doesn't always update it. But if I log out, and it's going to say, oh, you're at Amazon, let me sign you back in. And voila, I'm signed back in. And this would be nice if it does it in the context of a movie, which works, but I wanted to simplify the scenario to show you the essence of what it does. So it logs in for you, and now you get your login stuff, and you can see all the stuff I bought recently. So that's nice.
How your joints doing, Kevin?
Not as well as I'd like. Apparently, I'm getting a little old. So anyway, yeah. So when this is done, we'll have it for the top dozen services. It'll automatically click pay for it. You'll be able to configure it for the services you use. And we'll keep track of that. And it will just make being able to use this in a lot of different contexts so much simpler.
Can I ask Nate to show his screen real quick? Because he did a mock-up of what it might look like at Amazon. When you click on an Amazon to play, it'll ask for permission, right?
So here, this is what Dan was just talking about, the charge approval. So this is if we did not log in, or we did log in and we did not say that we wanted to save our password. This is what would pop up in front of us, and then it would be asking if we'd be okay with the charge for the specific title, and then if we would like it to remember not to ask again. So we can just click continue and go right to our movie experience.
So it's very familiar. I'm sure we've all seen this type of a thing when you're in Apple or whatever is a streaming service that does individual rentals. This will happen across all rental services so that it doesn't limit you from where you're going to have that access.
So I'm going to jump in here real quick and kind of sum up what we discussed today, because this is the end of part one in this update. So today we talked about Hypelists and how we'll be able to search within Mystreme for Hypelists that are relevant to us. We talked about fan channels, which are similar to YouTube channels, where we can put our own content as well as create a channel of our own favorites. We've talked about expanding Mystreme to have sports, and we've covered browser automation, which is how the experience will be seamless for our customer. Now, in the next video, we're going to talk about AI search, which is way more impressive than just those two small words. So when I first saw how this could potentially work, I was blown away. So be sure to join us for this next update when it comes out. Follow our channel on YouTube to make sure you get notified when that happens. For now, we'll say thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Adios.